We've both seen this. We have both seen the new Lena Dunham movie with Stephen Fry, Treasure. It is set in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm. Oh, late 90s.
Late 90s. Lena Dunham, her character, is going back to Poland, back to the home where her father grew up. And she's going there on a journey, and her father is revisiting his old apartment that he lived as a child, where he was kicked out as his whole family's Jewish, and they were kicked out.
I need to correct you. Lena Dunham's character is on a trip to Poland to learn about her heritage, and her father insisted on coming along reluctantly.
Yes, that's it. And to revisit everything that happened. He hasn't quite dealt with what happened to him and his family. Obviously, they were all taken and sent to camps, and his members of his family that her character didn't even know they existed were killed. And it's one of those, it's played like a road movie because there's a whole they're dealing with traveling different hotels and whatnot and dealing with the past. When she goes to visit the old apartment, her father sees some of his old possessions, their old silverware and a teapot and China. So Ruth buys it back. She wants to, buy back this stuff. They go and visit actually Auschwitz. And this is a trope of a type of indie movie. A lot of indie movies are reconciling with the past while on the road. And that's what this is. So it's very much a cliche for an indie film. And Stephen Fry is great as the father. He kind of doesn't want to deal with it. Obviously, his daughter Ruth kind of pulls him along to dealing with the emotions of the past. And I did kind of get choked up at the end. It was because anything father-daughter gets me. It just gets me. I'm sorry. It does. But Lena Dunham, cast anybody but her. She is not even, and there was no reason for it. She does a nude scene and she does not look good. I'm sorry to say. She's gotten larger since appearing in Girls, the HBO series, and they show her in a bath, topless, just naked. Why? You didn't need any of that. Didn't need to happen. And I just feel like I've seen this kind of movie before. It's a very good type of indie film. I think you could completely skip this and you wouldn't miss anything. And I think the turnoff for me is Lena Dunham. Stephen Fry, I like a lot. And it's at least under 2 hours. But I feel like this is a kind of indie movie. You could have a section in the video store of road movie dealing with the past, road movie going back home. Although it's her father that's kind of going back home and dealing with it. So I don't know. For me, it kind of is bordering on like, yeah, I'm fine that I saw it, but I don't know that I can recommend it to you. So, Alan, what did you think?
Yeah. There are movie genres out there that just by its very nature, you have to like, or you're racist, or in this case, anti-Semitic. Holocaust stories. If you don't like this Holocaust movie, you're anti-Semitic. If you don't like this slave movie, you're racist. And that's the sense I get going into these movies. It's like, it's like, this movie, when it comes out, people are going to say, oh, it's amazing. It's heartwarming. It's her journey, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, but it's still a bad movie.
Yeah.
in this case, yeah, Stephen Fry is great. Lena Dunham's annoying. I was looking at the press notes for this, and the writer and director were like, "We got to get Lena Dunham to do this role," and so she was the first choice because they liked her attitude in Girls, and so they did this. But it's, I mean, look, the thing about this movie is it's fairly predictable in the sense of, look, father and daughter. Father is a Holocaust survivor, and they go back to Auschwitz. And you can kind of, everything that happens in this movie, you kind of know is you can anticipate it happening. You know you have to have one of these scenes. You have to have the scene where he's like he has flashbacks or PTSD. Like there's a beginning moment in the movie where she buys tickets for a train to get them into town, and he won't get on the train. Wonder why? Then there's the there's the was it Holocaust Museum, and she gets kind of pissy at the fact that it's not a museum, and that just the whole idea of a museum is abhorrent to her. You just kind of know that these scenes are coming up. And I'll tell you, there's a movie coming out this fall called A Real Pain, starring Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin, two brothers who go to Auschwitz to experience their family trauma. I mean, we're getting two of these this year. That one's at least a little bit better. But it's like, when you have a movie like this that just plays on the trope and does the things you expect, you are looking for something for this movie to stand out. And I felt like this one doesn't necessarily stand out in any way for me. That makes me want to say, hey, this is the reason you want to see this movie, this scene, or this message, or the ending. It just feels very familiar. And so I'm like, if you're interested in the subject matter, go ahead. But there will be better movies that come out like this. If you're a fan of Stephen Fry and you can deal with Lena Dunham, go see this movie. But this one just doesn't stand out for me.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, I'm happy that I saw it. And okay, the father-daughter relationship works. But I can't recommend it to you. I can't say, you're going to love it, because you're probably
or worse yet, or you need to see this movie. That's the thing I cannot say about it.
I can't either. So there you go.
Although Lena Dunham nudity won't do it for you.
Lena Dunham nudity. Does Lena Dunham have a Mr. Skin page?
I believe she was naked in Girls.
A lot.
Yeah.
Dude, a lot.
Yeah.
So if Lena Dunham nudity is a selling point, go see Treasure.